Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Paragon guide. I am Sylphin, and this is a phase hero deck and guide. If you're looking at just the deck, just want that, head on over to the end of the video, and that is where we will take a look at it much more in depth. So ladies and gentlemen, we have to start off the guide with why do you pick phase? Now phase is a support hands down, and you pick phase because you need somebody that can mitigate crowd control. So what you do here is you have to use her telekinetic link, a ability here that you just saw me get first, that links you and a target. Retrigger to pull linked ally, heal 16 health per second for 4 seconds to phase and linked ally on ability cast. So she has some sustain, she has some healing that she can provide to her hand and your linked target. But it's actually mostly used to get somebody out of crowd control. So this link, I can pull somebody with this link when they are crowd controlled. So in a stun, in Gideon's ultimate, stuff like that. And that is actually where the true value in it lies. It's getting people out of bad positions when they, are crowd controlled and stuff like that. So that is actually really the true value. And that is why you pick phase. The enemy team here has a Rampage for his boulder, the Kwong with the tether, the Zinx for her stun, the Belka for the stun. So it's very, very important that you actually use that to your advantage here. Now I'm going to unfortunately die here, and I'm going to try to just run around and stay alive as much as I can, but unfortunately they picked a very good trade. Now, I actually made a pretty good mistake there with phase, and that is your positioning on phase is everything. Whether you can save your target and yourself or not is what phase is all about. I should have been standing way, way back so that I could pull that Twin Blast out from the bad position and then kind of save our butts. That is kind of the whole point of phase. So I'm gonna actually stand over here and I'm going to pull him back to me, and you can see there that is what that tether does. It pulls them back from a bad position. Now I'm gonna stand here under the tower, use our healing towers gem for that good sustain while we are linked. Now what happens here is with the telekinetic link they changed how it works, and it's kind of confusing. You double right click while you are linked to pull the target, but if you want to switch targets, you press your right click and then your left click to change targets. So it's pretty confusing, to be honest with you, but it's just they wanted to make it more easy for you to use the ability, and it kind of is once you just get used to it. As you can tell, my positioning is very, very careful. My positioning is everything. If I want to retreat and save me and this Twin Blast, I have to stay far behind so I can pull him. But if I want to be aggressive as well, I could rush forward and then pull him into my enemy. So that is kind of what you got to worry about on phase. Positioning is everything. The second one of her abilities is very, very powerful, Psychic Flare. What happens is you do an AoE blind around you and your link target for 105 ability damage, and that blind lasts for 1.25 seconds. It's very, very powerful, and you have to use it at the appropriate time. There's that one moment where the enemy is going to follow up. They're going to confirm a kill. They're going to do something, and you really got to make sure that it works in the appropriate time. So as you can see, I used my second ability there to get a great confirmed kill on that Zinx, and that is our last ability. You can get the second or third, kind of depends on how your lane dynamic works, and that is Energy Lance. 10 ability damage per hit, stacking 3% movement speed slow, 8 slow stacks cause 1 second root. So really, you shoot this Energy Lance like this onto the target, hitting him 4 times a second. That is how fast it ticks on the enemy, and 8 stacks grants that root. So you saw that I rooted that Zinx, and we confirmed the kill. That is what you want to use this for, to secure kills or to peel for your allies. Get that root on a target that is maybe trying to come and get your team. Now remember, we have the shadow wards that we picked up right off the bat, so we can put these down. It's a little bit late, been a lot of pressure in this lane, and that is okay. I'm going to put them down now, as on the river and right in that crossroads in the enemy jungle is a perfect place for those wards. Restoration potion is just for that increased sustain, so we can stay here on the battlefield and just kind of keep on going with this farm, and hopefully a little bit of pressure on this duo. Now, FaZe's ultimate is pretty badass. Hyperflux. You and your link target gain 70 attack speed, 50% cooldown reduction, 15 mana per second for 8 seconds, and 30% movement speed boost. It just makes everything about you and your target absolutely insane. So use that, preferably at the start of an engagement. That is kind of really quite the important thing. And you can use that to get great plays off, making sure that your target is full mana. If it's on a caster, so that you're at full mana in an engagement. Try to use it when you're low mana, because you get fantastic mana regen, and that is really important. So I'm gonna actually link this Kallari if I can, but unfortunately ran out of mana. Now, when you're upgrading your abilities, I highly recommend you upgrade Psychic Flare. The increased duration for that blind is crazy powerful. So upgrade that as much as possible. And then it kind of depends on what you need. I'm going to go for my level 2 telekinetic link here, just so that I can heal people more and reduce its cooldown. Now, the card that you're rushing for is Armored Shadow Ward, your Protective Sentry. What you can do is put down mana, use mana as a source of wards, basically. So every 65 seconds, you can put wards down on the battlefield, and obviously that is a very powerful. You need to get it and use it as much as possible, but don't hesitate to use it while you go for other better cards. Now I'm going to keep it and go for Radiant Healer. It provides you and nearby allies with additional health regen while giving a good amount of health. Great, fantastic card for support, especially of quite the caster support that FaZe is. In an engagement, like I said earlier, you have to decide whether it is beneficial for you to position aggressively so you can pull people forward and blind people and kind of just use that positional advantage, or position carefully like this. That is what I want to do here, and if I could pull him, thank you very much. It is very buggy, but of course I get obliterated, as it doesn't really matter. And that's kind of the issue with FaZe. Either people kind of fall for it, and they kind of focus on this one target that is way overextended, and you just kind of pull them to safety, or they save crowd control like they just did there for the FaZe sitting in the back line pulling people, and you just get obliterated like that anyways. Fortunately, I have a Zinx here that DC'd, but that is okay, as we are trying to go for something like Form of Grubbish. Works really well with FaZe, so that you can be very supportive, but completely take somebody out of the fight with Form of Grubbish. And here is the deck, ladies and gentlemen. Lamplighter and Rejuvenator are what you start off at the beginning of the match for. The fantastic vision, make sure to place that down much earlier than I did, and Rejuvenator, so you can out-sustain and outlast your enemy opponents, and you can just kind of win that lane and do great things. Armored Footman, fantastic damage mitigation, 20% chance to reduce basic damage taken by 50, works on minions and on enemy hero basics. Font of Experience, great card. I kind of wanted to be a little more dominant in the lane, so that's why I went for these, but maybe in retrospect I should have gone for Font of Experience. It's all up to you, especially depending on what duo you're going up against. Radiant Healer, fantastic card for increased health regen for nearby allies, plus some good health. This Vanguard Captain is great health regen in the early game for only 3-point card. It's good. Definitely get it. Plus, it blocks 4 damage from minions for you and nearby allied heroes. Brilliant Fortification, I used that in the previous match to grant immunity to structures for 7 seconds every 90 seconds. Works really great, especially if you're behind or there's really a lot of split pushing going on. Fantastic card as a support to pick up and save your towers. Protective Sentry, absolutely mandatory to put down wards on the battlefield and get some good mana regen. But don't hesitate to swap it out while you get higher cost cards, and then go back to it. Pretty much always go back to it for sure, except for extreme late game where you can kind of forgo ward for a couple for a couple minutes. Malink's Grace is a fantastic card, but I like more intellect on phase rather than vitality, but it is still here as an option. Shield yourself a target ally for 25% of your maximum health. Works better for higher health support, so this is only really extreme late game. Malink's Prayer is what I would go for instead, as it heals nearby allied heroes and grants some basic armor, plus giving you health and basic armor. Perfect card, especially somebody like FaZe. Yomi Guardian, a bit different. 3 agility for extreme late game. If you need, say the enemy team has 2 carries, or a carry and a basic attack assassin like a Kalari, can go for Yomi Guardian to grant 100 basic damage mitigation for to your nearby allies for 8 seconds. Really, really powerful. And for McGrubbish, really powerful on FaZe. Morph target enemy hero into a bug for 3 seconds. So not only can FaZe kind of totally mitigate enemy crowd control by pulling somebody to safety, now she can take somebody out of the fight for 3 seconds. Used at the appropriate time on the appropriate hero, it's monstrous. So you definitely get that card in the late game and use it appropriately. Auto health potion to help your sustain. You can get that idea for sustain in the early game. Theme here, healing towers. Again, if you're on the back foot, or even if you're super aggressive under enemy tower, that can work. Damage reduction for increased tankiness, which is what you need as a support. Onslaught to reduce the cooldown of your abilities, which are very impactful on FaZe. Mana Fountain for increased mana regen. The more mana you use, the more mana regen you get. And Spell Shield to block enemy hero attacks. Really is powerful. There you guys go. That is the deck and guide. Let me know what you guys think of FaZe. She isn't the most meta support at the moment, but used appropriately and with, you know, with the right amount of skill, she can really be quite impactful. Amazon is the tried and true way of shopping for anything you need or want at the lowest prices. Support the channel at no cost to you by doing your Amazon shopping through the link in the video description. Please like this video if you dislike it. If you dislike it, share it with the community. Of course, guys, subscribe. If you guys like this content, especially if you found it useful, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Check the video description for links to my website, merchandise store, and Amazon affiliate link, as well as all my social media right here. Huge shout out, huge YouTube shout out to my Patreon supporters, Twitch subscribers, and YouTube sponsors, all going out of the way to making these videos possible. Until next time, like always, guys, stay optimistic and positive.